Joining us now for a better read on retail, kind of a deeper read, a sharper one, Jan Kniffen from Rogers Kniffen. He is the CEO. Jan, it's great to see you and to have you here. What did we learn today, and where do you think the biggest opportunities are, or should people just be cautious around this space for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I kind of loved it. You know, there were no real surprises, and Macy's and Dick's sort of just stayed where they were. No big pop. Abercrombie & Fitch, same kind of release, was okay. Abercrombie was good as a brand. Hollister was not good as a brand. Hollister was really good as a brand. But all in all, other than the guidance being pretty anemic, nothing really happened except the stock went up 25% on the announcement. So just proving, of course, that if you're down 50% and everybody's short, you don't have to say much to go up 25% initially and settle in at up 14%. But I don't think we heard anything surprising from these retailers. We all knew tariffs were coming. We all knew they'd have to deal with them. We all know there would be some impact. Either they're going to raise price a little bit or they were going to wind up taking some hit on margin. They really don't know which they're going to do yet. They're still figuring that out. But all in all, it's the same game we've always played. We've always dealt with tariffs and retailing. We've always had quotas. So we've all seen this game before. This is a little broader. But if we really see a 10% tariff everywhere and about a 30% tariff on China, most people would need to raise prices between 4 and 6% to just stay even. But they'll do a lot of other things, right? They'll push on the vendor. They'll push the supply chain. They'll push their own expenses. They'll do some substitution. And then they'll pass through whatever's left. And then the customer will tell them if that's okay or not. And if it's not okay, they'll take a little bit of hit to gross margin. If it is okay, they'll just move right along. None of us know how that's going to work, but we do it every day in retailing, and this will just be playing that game one more time with the consumer.
Right. I mean, if you shrug it off and just say it doesn't matter, then it would almost be an argument to buy a lot of these names. But it seems like this is kind of separating the strong from the weak. We get a spate of them reporting tomorrow. Gap, Stacey Widla's last hour, she was saying stick with someone who's winning like that. They're not even doing markdowns anymore, which is kind of unheard of in recent years for that brand. So what do? Do you just kind of own a bunch of them and hope that we get more Abercrombie-like reactions?
Well, I watched my buddy Stacey, and I didn't disagree with anything she said. But I will say, if you're Walmart, if you're Costco, if you're Home Depot, if you're Dick's Sporting Goods, if you're TJ Maxx, and you're the best at what you do in your area of retailing, you gain market share, you basically get better, you take less of a hit, you negotiate better with the vendors, and you win once again. Guess what? They were all already winning. They just continue winning if the world gets harder. And the world's about to get a little bit harder as the tariffs go on. But there's no real drama here. And I heard you talking about it a while ago. I don't think the tariffs are inflationary. You know, we don't get inflation when we have value-added taxes. We don't get inflation when we have a sales tax. I don't think we'll get inflation from a tariff tax. But we will get some dislocation. And the winners will win. And the losers will lose.
Jan, will we get more jobs? I mean, I don't think we're going to start making socks in America again.
Even Trump doesn't believe we're going to do that. But he really would like to see the precious things come back. Precious things like defense, like tech, like healthcare. And does he really care if prom dresses get made in China or Indonesia or Vietnam, wherever? No. He even said that yesterday, I believe. But we will see 10% tariffs everywhere, so you'll still pay a little more for the prom dress, or somebody will make a little less on it, or somebody in the supply chain.
But a second, we got to go. But I come from a consumer products household, Jan. You know that 4 to 6%, while not nothing, doesn't sound like it's going to break anybody. I'm not advocating for tariffs or against them, but 4 to 6% is not a doubling.
No. I believe in the law of supply and demand, just like you do. And I believe we will see a little bit of pushback as prices go up, like we always do. But I don't think there's anything dramatic happening here. And I keep trying to tell people, hey, we deal with changes in price all the time. We're always pushing the envelope to try to get costs down and get a little more gross margin out of our business, or at least sustain what we've got. That's all that's going to happen here, unless these tariffs turn out to be a heck of a lot different than 30% on China and 10% every place else. Now, we could get something going on in the economy that's a problem. If we see unemployment go up 4.2 to 6, we'll see a big slowdown. But that's going to be caused by something else, not by the tariff.